Good morning. How's it going, everybody? How are ya? How are ya? As you can see, I'm dressed to go outside and get some work done today. But a lot going on in these markets, so I wanted to touch base with you guys and take a look at what's going on. As you know, I started the Risk to Riches Challenge, and so I've been on the prowl for some trades. I did a lot of work over the weekend, and I located a lot of good opportunities that are setting up, and also been taking a peek at what's been going on in the markets lately, so I wanted to touch base with you guys and just take a look at what's going on and share some thoughts with you guys. All right? All right. Let's get it going. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Mozart. Wonderful music. All right, folks. I saw a lot of moves taking place yesterday. Gold, was taking a look at gold, and I see that we got this break through a demand zone here. So I was watching for a long signal to be produced from here to see if price was going to continue to the upside, and there hasn't been much of a move to the upside from that area. Instead, it ended up breaking down, and we got new supply being created. And to be honest with you, I'm not that surprised about that, because when we look at silver, remember what we were talking about with silver? Silver came up to the highs here and paused, and this was taking place as some demand was being created and sitting below price. So if there is going to be a continued move to the upside, we were expecting a move down to this area of demand for there to be a move to the upside from there. So I'm going to be watching for a move down into that area, and then I'm going to be watching for the long signal to be produced from there. So that could be one of the first trades that I take on the Risk to Riches Challenge. All right. So I'm going to be waiting on that. I was wanting the long natural gas trade to bring in my $1,000 to start the Risk to Riches Challenge, but that ended up dropping against me, and I closed my position at a small loss, just a small loss. It was under $100. This is nothing. But there was one point it was up 450. So that's how it is, right? And I didn't want it to drop even further before contracts expired, and then my broker kicked me out of my position. So I just figured I'll close this now. But I'm waiting to, I'm ready to start the Risk to Riches Challenge. I'll just take $1,000 from my personal account, and I'll put it at risking 25% of it. So I'll be risking $250 on my first trade, and aiming for 3-to-1. So if it's a win, I make 750. So I'll add that 750 to the 1,000, and then I'll risk 25% of that $1,750. And I'll be doing this for the next 10 trades. So I'd like the first trade to be a rock solid one. So this long silver one I like. If it pulls back there, I'll be looking for a long signal off that daily demand zone. So RSI momentum shift on the 1 hour time frame is basically what I'll be looking for. And once that's produced, I'll give the long signal to members. And then after I'm in the trade, I'll post it and share it with you guys. Okay, that's one of the little perks that members are going to get. They're going to get the trade as it is taken. I will show them how I'm managing it, where my targets will be, and so forth. Once I'm in the trade, I'll share it with everybody else on the public channels. All right, but I'm telling you now what the signal is. It's a 1 hour momentum shift off that daily area of demand. So if silver was to drop a little bit further, then obviously we're expecting gold to drop a little bit further. And some of the analysis that I did earlier for members was indicating that if this area were to be removed, then it would likely produce a larger move to the downside. Now, you know, it produced a larger move to the downside, but we do still have demand a little bit down below further here in this area. So it could drop and then start moving higher, or you know what? It could fall short, move up. The key signal is once this area of supply on the 4 hour time frame gets taken out, then that is the signal that the banks are buying. Okay? because this is the latest area of selling. There's no other obstacles holding price down except for this area of selling. So if they take off this area of selling, then they're telling us that they're willing and ready to take price to the upside from here, okay? So this is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. We just got to wait and be patient. So silver is one of my top picks. When I look at the Aussie, it's not doing much, so I skip through it. I look at the euro. We are talking about this push to the upside and how there was a potential trade here. I think on the 15-minute chart we were looking. Let me see. We were watching for a potential trade here. Yeah, if it were to pull back here, this was the potential trade for a long, but obviously that didn't take place, so there was no trade signal there. But we were anticipating this move to the upside here, where we weren't surprised to see that. So some supply has been removed. Where's the demand? That's questionable, so I've left it. I haven't drawn any institutional demand, because we know that this demand zone down here, or this imbalance that was created here, is not responsible for removing the supply up here, okay? So supply gets taken out. That's because buying, significant buying comes into play. And so we have to be able to locate where that buying is. We have to be able to locate it precisely, because if we can't locate it and we don't know what time frame it's located on, then how are we going to know if the banks are going to continue to buy where that area is going to begin from? So I haven't drawn it in yet because I still haven't come to the conclusion of where it is. It's very possible that that buying area is located here, and that we've come and tested it and it's currently in play. But I haven't concluded that as of yet. So I am still watching this. Do I think that there's still upside? Yes. One second. As I was saying with silver, we suspect it's going to go higher. If that takes place, we expect gold to go higher. If that takes place, we expect euro to go higher as well. So I'm going to be watching for that. So the key thing with the euro US dollar is watching for institutional buying to come into play, locating those zones and taking part in that momentum to the upside on those demand zones. So daily chart might produce something. Let me see. I think supply is much further up, so not really giving us anything good here. I see it came down to this imbalance, but let me see. There might be a supply here. Okay, yeah, there was a supply here. Let me go forward. Oh yeah, there was a demand zone here. Oh yeah, and it came and tested it. Wow, I missed that one. I missed that one because my supply was lightly shaded. I don't know why I did that. It was a while ago. I was testing out a new idea, and I lightly shaded that supply as opposed to making it darker. And lightly shading it made me pretty much miss the whole thing. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. That could have been a long signal there. Damn. All right. Well, I'm paying attention. Well, we did have the long signal based on that imbalance, right? We have two long signals still in play based on the imbalance here, that bullish engulf, and then this one here. But that was actually demand. Let me see if there was a signal off that demand zone here. There was one test here, second test here. Yeah, that's your signal there. Right here was your signal to go long. Wow. Wow, right there, smack dab. Boy, oh boy. That was your long signal. Look at the RSI here, okay? See how it came down, produced a basing candle, then momentum, and then you had the RSI at 40 on this dip. That was signaling that the strength was coming in. Yeah, it looks like it had dipped emotionally wicked through here. So depending on where you put your stop, you could have been stopped out if you didn't give enough room. Otherwise, that 3-to-1 might have been reached at the highs here. I'd have to take a look at that. But this looks good. Demand is in play. So we got institutional buying taking place here on the euro, which is telling me that over the short term, they are interested in buying this. And that's a good sign, because we know over the long term they're interested, because they were able to remove a monthly area of supply, and right now they're currently producing a bullish candle. So with this demand in play, yeah, this definitely could continue to the upside. It's looking good. Okay, this is looking good for a continued move to the upside. And look at the momentum shifting here on the 4-hour as daily demand was being contacted. RSI was below 40, rallied up, came down. RSI just above 40, and that gave it the strength to produce new highs past the previous highs here. So that's good. So euro to the upside. Okay, it's clear. Short-term buying is taking place here. We may have some retracements, very short-term, before it continues to the upside. And that's pretty much what we would like to see with silver expecting a drop. So that's looking pretty good, guys. Pound, in supply right now. Once that supply gets taken out, boy, there's nothing to stop it. Okay? Oh yeah, we have major compression here. Members know what I'm talking about when I say that. Major compression here. So compression. Yeah, this is easily tradable. To trade through here, very, very easily. Very easy to trade through. So when this supply breaks, there's nothing to stop it from going here. Okay, so 136.62 breaks. It's easy breezy sailing to 140.81. Okay, so I'll be watching that. I have my alert set already. So this is going to be a potential long. What I'd like to see is that breakthrough, produce demand, retrace to demand, and away she goes. So watching that one, USCAD obviously moved to the downside. A further move to this supply up here would be an area of interest for me. Up here for the sell. I do like that. I think that would be pretty good. Up here. Okay? If it came up here and contacted this area of supply, this would be a spot that I'd be interested in selling. I'd watch for the signal off that area. I wouldn't want to just sell blindly, obviously, but I think that could be a good area for entering into a short. Okay, it's in line with what we're seeing on the euro, pound, gold, silver. Okay, it's in line with all those. And what was the other one that we were looking at? Gold, silver, and the euro. Yeah. Okay. U.S. Swiss. It's been pretty weak, retesting that area of demand, and still remaining very, very weak. Let me point this out to you guys. All right. Look here. See the weakness here on the contact? Still very, very weak on the contact. So, I mean, if there was going to be a major move to the upside, we'd need to see this really shoot to the upside, come down, produce an RSI at around 40 for it to give us that bigger move. So far, this is not showing any signs of that. So there's a good chance that eventually this breaks through. As long as this weakness stays in here, there's a very good chance that this demand zone will break through and they'll push price lower. Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on that as well. And US dollar, Japanese yen, I like this one. It's been a big mover. Look at this one, eh? Have you seen how this thing's been moving? This is pretty good. We captured that 3-to-1 short trade on that supply. Then we got the big push to the upside. I am watching to see what takes place here, and I just spotted something here right now. We have institutional supply here. Boy, oh boy. Wow, this looks like a good setup here. This looks like a really good setup. Institutional supply. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be looking for sell signals here, guys. Okay. This looks really good. Come up to this supply. Let me attach an alert here so I don't miss this one. This looks really good. Obviously, I'm not gonna just set my trades up, but I'm gonna set an alert right here. 4-hour area of supply is about to be hit. look for a short signal on the 15-minute chart. Okay, and this is in line with what we're seeing on the other charts. Small retracements and then continuation. So this looks good. So what I'd be watching for is a retracement up until that area of supply and then a drop here. Later on, I'll do some more analysis on targets and I'll provide that to members when the time is right. Okay. But just watch for that, because when it happens and I show you the trade that I'm in and I show you that it's in profit, I don't want you to say, oh, I didn't know. I'm telling you now. Okay. I'm telling you now. I'm not going to give you the specific signal. I'm going to reserve that for members, which is one of the perks that you have when you become a member with us at White Oak FX. And as you can see on the bottom right of your screen, we got a free trial right now, so you can sign up and try us out for free for 7 days. I don't even know why I'm offering this for free. What we offer is too good to give to anybody for 7 days for free, but a lot of you don't have the funds to sign up and you wanted to see what's inside, so I thought I'd do my good deed for the month and offer you a free trial. I don't know how much longer I'm going to leave it for, so if you want to take advantage, now's your chance. So I'll offer that signal to members when it's produced, and I'll provide stop losses, entries, and our targets. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. We're looking at Bitcoin fell short of hitting that weekly area of demand and then shot up like a rocket. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It just didn't even come down to the weekly demand zone. It came so close to it, you know, because I was watching for the signal. We knew that with great certainty that if price came in to that weekly area of demand, that we were going to see institutional buying taking place. And sure enough, why do you think we're seeing a big move up in price right now? That's institutional buying. That's big buying there. Okay, look at these candles. Okay, the big candles. You see the slow retracement with red candles, and then the big buy. That's institutional buying. Okay, like you can see it here, and you can see it here. Okay, I know because I know what it looks like. This is what I do for a living. I study these charts. They are my life. And when you dedicate your life to something, you have the ability to become one of the best at it. And so when it comes to spotting institutional buying and selling, I would consider myself one of the best there is out there. Just tooting my own horn, just saying, but you know, I'll leave that for you guys to judge. Anyways, so that's what I'm seeing with that. And last but not least, I want to show you the S&P 500. This is great. Look at that. It came down into our institutional demand area. Like, who's locating these areas, guys? Nobody is locating these areas. I'm locating those areas. Look at that. Came down into buying, boom. Now we got supply in play. Once this area of supply gets taken out, and what do you think is going to happen here? Yeah, it's going to get taken out. Once it's taken out, that opens up the chart for a move much higher, okay? There's nothing to stop the chart. There's nothing to stop price from moving higher. Once it's removed, that's it. And it could produce demand here. It could be producing demand here. Somewhere it's going to be producing demand, and then when they retrace price, they'll be retracing price to those demand zones, and then they'll continue pushing price higher. So I'm also going to be paying attention to Tesla. Tesla is setting up for a long trade on the daily time frame. They're playing out in a sequence right now. This is a very, very powerful thing that the banks do, is sequence buying, where they buy on a higher time frame, a medium term time frame, and then a smaller time frame. And so they started the long-term buying. I showed you the zone that they did that. They started the medium-term buying. I showed you the zone that they did that. And now they're going to start short-term buying, and I'm showing you the zone that they're going to do that from. So I'm going to wait for price to retrace that zone, and then I'm going to be entering in on the long signal. I'll produce that will be produced on the charts. I will provide that to members, and I will share the trade afterwards with all of you. Okay, so this will be a trade that I'll take that will be on two of my portfolios. One on the risk to riches challenge, and the other one for a much larger move to the upside. Okay, we have targets. I'll give you targets on this one. We have targets at 392.89. Okay, and we have targets at 484 and 519. Okay, ladies and gents, is that good? Did I give you your fix for today? Tesla looks sweet. Yeah, I agree. It looks very sweet. Yeah. Very good, very good. Let me see what other comments you have. Bitcoin, please look at Bitcoin. I agree, same perspective. All right, so let me see Bitcoin. Take it down now. Oh, my thing. Yeah, but you saw most of my screen. Yeah, I kept it large, but you could see most of my screen anyways. When I was enlarging these things, you could see what I was talking about. Yeah, no big deal, no biggies. All right, guys, good. Thanks. Honk honk. Uh, enjoy your day. I'm going to be doing some chart analysis. I'll have a lot more time for myself today, and a lot more time for doing chart work to do what I do. But I will be out there in a little bit, helping them a little bit more with the work that they're doing. So, but then I'll be back in the saddle again and continuing. I'll have my phone with me, waiting for these alerts. So stay tuned. New trades are coming, and keep an eye on those ones that I pointed out to you. Okay. All right, folks. You take care. Have a good one.